Imagine waking up one morning, noticing your right hand trembles just a bit when you reach for your coffee, and thinking, well, that's odd, but maybe it's just a bit of morning stiffness. You go about your day, pushing that nagging concern to the back of your mind. Fast forward a few months, and suddenly you're struggling to button your shirt, fumbling with small tasks that used to be second nature. This scenario is more common than many seniors realize, and it often flies under the radar until it becomes too big to ignore. Parkinson's disease in its early stages can disguise itself as minor inconveniences or natural signs of aging. Yet recognizing these early warning signs could be the difference between maintaining independence and facing unexpected limitations. One of the hardest parts about diseases like Parkinson's is how quietly they can creep into everyday life. You might chalk up slowed movement or a slight tremor to getting older. You might feel a little weaker or notice a change in your handwriting and think, that's just part of being over 70. But here's the truth. While aging does bring changes, not every decline is inevitable. By missing the early subtle cues, many seniors don't pursue the treatments or lifestyle modifications that could slow progression and keep them active and engaged longer. In this video, we're going to explore 6 key signs that often go undetected until they become severe. Stick around because each sign offers a glimpse into how Parkinson's can take hold, and more importantly, what you can do to protect yourself. If you catch even one of these signs early, you may save yourself from years of difficult symptoms that can rob you of the freedom you've worked so hard to maintain. I'll share the stories of real seniors who spotted these signs, took action, and drastically changed their outcomes. And you'll hear about proven insights that doctors and specialists are finally recognizing as crucial for understanding Parkinson's in its initial phases. In my experience working closely with older adults and consulting various health experts, I've seen firsthand how these signs can remain hidden until a sudden fall or a noticeable tremor sparks alarm. This isn't just a matter of speculation. Current findings suggest that an early diagnosis and a proactive approach can help delay or minimize the more debilitating symptoms of the disease. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which red flags to look for, practical steps to take if you spot them, and most importantly, how to maintain a higher quality of life even when facing a diagnosis that once seemed overwhelming. Before we get started, if you enjoy helpful, health-focused content like this, please take a moment to subscribe and click the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos. And if you find this video valuable, type 1 in the comments. If you don't, type 0 to let me know what I can improve. Your feedback really helps shape the content I bring to you. Now let's dive into the first of the 6 early warning signs that many seniors overlook when it comes to Parkinson's disease, and see what we can do to protect ourselves. The first early warning sign that seniors often miss is something that might surprise you: a change in your sense of smell. It's easy to dismiss it as just one of those minor annoyances that come with getting older. But here's the shocking part. Losing your sense of smell or noticing strong odors no longer registering like they used to could indicate something deeper at play. Conventional wisdom tells us it's normal to have a diminished sense of smell in our 70s. After all, taste buds, eyesight, and hearing can also fade. The common misconception is that there's nothing you can do about it besides spicing up your food or accepting it as a natural part of aging. But consider Lisa, who just turned 74. She was a wonderful cook, famous for her chocolate chip cookies that her grandchildren adored. Suddenly, she couldn't tell the difference between cinnamon and nutmeg. She also noticed that the sweet smell of vanilla extract barely registered. At first, Lisa thought she just had a seasonal cold or allergies. When she mentioned it in passing at a checkup, her doctor hinted it might be related to something neurological. After further evaluation, she learned it was one of the early signs pointing toward Parkinson's. What's surprising is that an altered sense of smell can sometimes occur years before motor symptoms appear, serving as a quiet alarm bell. Here's the practical step. If you notice you're frequently unable to smell strong odors, like the aroma of coffee, fresh cut grass, or a loved one's perfume, tell your doctor, especially if it's a sudden change. You can even test yourself at home by smelling items in your kitchen that have distinct aromas. While this doesn't guarantee you have Parkinson's, it's one clue that merits attention. The emotional benefit of catching this symptom early is huge. If it turns out to be nothing serious, wonderful. But if it indicates the start of something that needs addressing, you've saved precious time. You can initiate early interventions, medications, physical therapy, even targeted nutrition to help slow progression and maintain your independence longer. Now let's move to the second sign, subtle changes in your handwriting. Most seniors assume that handwriting changes are purely due to stiff joints or arthritis, and there is certainly some truth to that. But a less-known fact is that a dramatic shift to smaller, cramped handwriting, often called micrographia, can be one of the earliest signs of Parkinson's. The conventional belief is that as we age, tremors might make our handwriting shakier or bigger, but Parkinson's can cause the opposite. Letters become minuscule, words bunch together, and sentences sprawl unpredictably across the page. Think of Walter, age 80, who prided himself on sending handwritten letters to his children and grandchildren every month. His penmanship was once neat and flowing. Over the course of a few weeks, his letters became almost too cramped to read. Walter joked about it, blaming his old hands, but his daughter noticed something was off. The difference between his old letters and his new ones was astounding. When Walter sought a medical opinion, he was alarmed to learn that his handwriting change was a key indicator of a possible Parkinson's diagnosis. It's crucial to realize that this isn't about a minor slip in fine motor skills. It's a sign that something within the brain's control over muscles might be shifting. If your letters start to get tinier or you find your words almost clumped together, take note. Try a simple test. Write a short paragraph once a week and compare them over a month. If you spot dramatic differences, bring them to your doctor's attention. Early action here can involve physical or occupational therapy geared toward maintaining writing skills, or simple exercises that help your hands stay agile. The emotional payoff is peace of mind. You're tackling potential issues head-on instead of ignoring them. If you've been watching this so far and you find these insights valuable, please drop a 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, this is a great time to do so you don't miss any future videos that can help you stay informed and proactive about your health. Moving on, the third sign is something many people don't connect to Parkinson's at all: drastic changes in sleep patterns. You might be thinking, isn't it normal for sleep to get disrupted as we age? Don't seniors often wake up more at night? Yes, seniors can face more sleep disturbances, things like needing to use the bathroom more often or dealing with aches and pains. But Parkinson's has a distinct profile that often involves intense dreams or nightmares, restless legs, and even acting out dreams physically. The conventional misconception is that all sleep disturbances in later life are just par for the course and you have to accept them. However, for many people in their 70s, changes in sleep can serve as an early clue that something neurological is shifting. Consider Michael, age 77, who started experiencing extremely vivid dreams. He would shout in his sleep, sometimes flail his arms, and occasionally even fall out of bed. His wife grew concerned, but Michael dismissed it as anxiety or a side effect of the evening news. Over time, his daytime fatigue became overwhelming. Finally, after nearly causing an accident while driving, he sought help. To his surprise, doctors linked his nighttime restlessness and daytime exhaustion to early-stage Parkinson's. Addressing it sooner could have prevented a lot of risk and stress for both him and his wife. If you're noticing severe shifts in your sleep, especially if you're having vivid, violent dreams, or if your partner complains that you're tossing and turning in ways you never did before, track these incidents. A sleep study can offer insights, and there are strategies such as adjusting your evening routine, exploring low-impact exercises, or discussing certain medications with your doctor. By taking this step early, you could minimize daytime fatigue, reduce falls, often linked to grogginess, and maintain a healthier, more stable mood. Knowing you have control over at least part of this process can be a huge emotional relief. Now for the fourth sign, sudden stiffness or rigidity that doesn't go away with gentle stretching. Yes, we all get stiff muscles and joints, especially after gardening or sitting too long. But with Parkinson's, rigidity can be more constant and often affects the arms and legs in a peculiar way, making everyday tasks like lifting a cup or walking feel more laborious. The common misconception is to blame arthritis or to think, I just need to move around more, when in fact the stiffness might be coming from an issue in the brain's ability to coordinate muscle movements. Take Eileen, 79, who noticed she could no longer swing her arms naturally when she walked. One arm seemed to remain pinned to her side, as though an invisible weight was pressing it there. She found it harder and harder to rotate her hips when stepping onto a curb. Her husband teased that she was too stubborn to slow down, but Eileen knew something felt off. When she finally saw a neurologist, the arm stiffness was identified as a sign of Parkinson's. The moment she understood the reason behind her unusual rigidity, she felt relieved to have an explanation, but also frustrated she hadn't caught it sooner when lifestyle modifications could have had a bigger impact. Stiffness that doesn't respond to basic remedies, like a warm shower, gentle massage, or light exercise, should be taken seriously. You can try simple tests at home. For example, stand and swing your arms gently by your sides. If one arm is barely moving, note that. Or do a slow neck roll to see if you feel an unusual cogwheel sensation, like notches in the movement. If you do, make an appointment and get it checked. The emotional benefit of addressing this sign early is straightforward. You reduce the fear of the unknown by understanding why it's happening, and you empower yourself to use targeted approaches like specialized exercises or medication adjustments that can help you maintain mobility longer. By the way, if you're still watching, let me know by typing 4 in the comments so I can see how many of you are staying engaged. Your support truly motivates me to keep bringing more insights like these. Next, let's talk about the 5th warning sign: changes in posture and balance that seem out of the ordinary. Of course, balance can be tricky at any age, especially if you've had a hip replacement or if your eyesight isn't as sharp as it once was. But when Parkinson's is involved, there's often a distinct stoop in the shoulders, as though you're constantly leaning forward. Along with that, you might notice shuffling steps or a feeling like your feet are getting stuck to the floor. The misconception is that this is purely due to muscle weakness or poor posture habits. However, in reality, it can be a sign that your brain is struggling to coordinate messages about movement and balance. We can look at Harold, age 75, who was always an active tennis player. Suddenly, he found himself stooping slightly, and his wife commented that he looked like he'd lost confidence on his feet. He shrugged it off as being out of shape or stiff from old age. But it wasn't just his posture. Harold found he was tripping on the smallest cracks in the sidewalk, something that never used to happen. It took a near fall that almost resulted in a broken wrist for him to see a specialist, who recognized the telltale posture and foot shuffling of early Parkinson's. Once diagnosed, Harold was able to start physical therapy immediately, focusing on exercises that improved his gait and posture. Today, he's still out on the tennis courts, but with a routine tailored to his needs. If you find yourself shuffling more than you used to, or if friends and family notice you're leaning forward instead of standing upright, try some posture checks in front of a mirror. If you see a persistent forward tilt or your shoulders stay hunched no matter how often you straighten them, get it evaluated. It's better to know what you're dealing with so you can take steps to improve balance and coordination. The emotional benefit? Confidence. When you address posture and balance early, you reduce falls and injuries, freeing yourself to continue activities you love without constant worry. Finally, the 6th early warning sign many seniors overlook is a change in facial expressions, sometimes called a masked face. This involves a reduced range of facial movement, leading people to say you look bored, disinterested, or even depressed when you're not. Conventional wisdom suggests that with age, facial muscles might sag or become less responsive, and many assume a neutral or flat expression is normal, especially when feeling tired. But in Parkinson's, it's more pronounced. People may ask, are you upset? Because your face doesn't match your true feelings. Meet Brenda, age 81, who was known for her bright smile and lively conversations. Her family noticed she wasn't smiling in photos, and her grandchildren asked if she was unhappy. Yet Brenda felt fine. She just wasn't moving her facial muscles the way she used to. The moment she realized others were misreading her emotions, she became self-conscious and started avoiding social events. After a neurologist visit, Brenda learned this lack of expression could be related to early Parkinson's. By identifying it sooner, she was able to begin a specialized therapy that helped her maintain better control of her facial muscles and preserve her lively personality. If friends comment that you seem down, bored, or angry when you're actually feeling okay, it's worth reflecting on whether your face might not be showing the full range of emotions anymore. Look in the mirror and notice if you're blinking less or if your smile doesn't look quite as dynamic. Bringing this up with your doctor could lead to valuable strategies, from medication adjustments to facial muscle exercises. The emotional payoff is you maintain authentic connections with family and friends, avoiding misunderstandings or unnecessary concerns that you're depressed. This is our sixth sign, so if you're still here and these points have resonated, comment 6 below to let me know you've watched all the way through. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to stay updated with more health insights geared toward proactive seniors. Let's take a moment to recap what we've learned and why it matters. If you've been jotting down notes, you now have 6 early warning signs that, taken individually, might seem like minor age-related nuisances. Diminished sense of smell, changes in handwriting, drastic sleep disruptions, persistent stiffness, hunched posture and balance issues, and the masked face phenomenon. By knowing these signs, you have the power to catch potential Parkinson's disease in its earliest stages, which is critical because acting sooner often means more effective management. Remember, the stakes are high. Missing these warnings can lead to advanced symptoms that restrict mobility, independence, and overall quality of life. But the flip side is that by catching them, you give yourself the greatest possible range of treatment options, medications, physical therapy, lifestyle modifications that can help you stay active, socially engaged, and feeling more like yourself. This isn't just about fleeting comfort. It's about preserving your ability to pick up your grandchildren without trembling, write personal letters with the confident strokes you've always had, and wake up each morning well-rested instead of drained from restless nights. Picture yourself a year from now. If you choose to ignore these subtle hints, there's a risk you'll find everyday tasks increasingly daunting. But if you're proactive, you could be in a far stronger position, managing your symptoms, maintaining your independence, and continuing to enjoy the things you love without constant worry. Which of these 6 signs struck you as the most surprising or relevant? Take a moment to reflect on your own life or the life of someone you love. Perhaps you noticed your writing has gotten tighter, or your sense of smell isn't what it used to be. Maybe you've had vivid dreams or slight tremors you can't quite explain. Identifying with even one of these signs doesn't necessarily mean you have Parkinson's, but it does mean you should bring it up with a healthcare professional. The first small step could be as simple as keeping a diary of your symptoms for a couple of weeks and then scheduling a thorough checkup. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which sign did you find the most eye-opening, and how do you plan to address it in your daily life? Share your answer in the comments below. Your experiences might just help someone else in this community who's facing the same questions. Plus, I read every comment, and your stories truly inspire and guide future topics. If you found this video informative, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it with friends or family members who might benefit. Your support helps me continue creating content that not only informs, but also empowers seniors to take charge of their health and well-being. And if you're ready for more insights, make sure you tap that notification bell so you'll be the first to know when I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching and for being part of this community of proactive, engaged seniors. Never forget, you have the power to recognize the signs, ask the right questions, and make choices that keep you living life on your own terms. Your health journey is an ongoing story, and every day you pay attention to these subtle changes is a day you take back a little more control. I'm rooting for you every step of the way, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.